we made it to Palma, probably about 20 minutes or so, and now we can go and have a look around and do a little bit of shopping before we go off to the cinema. Or shopping? No.
Yes.
Okay. Lots of places where you can get off the bus on the way into Palma, lots of stops. So probably you need to plan your journey by bus. We've come more or less to the end though, because it's the closest to El Corte Inglés, which is where we need to go. But it also allows us just to have a quick look at one of the more interesting streets. Lots of interesting streets actually in Palma, but Sindicato, I've always been a little bit fascinated by it. It's always been a pedestrianised street, and it's just in front to the left. Some tables outside the cafes. This one for some reason. We're not going to go up Sindicato now. We'll do that on another occasion. This is Sindicato. It's a pedestrianised street with shops on either side, and there's always something interesting. What we need to go is down here, and you can see lots of buses. This is one of the areas where the bus terminus is for many of the lines coming into Palma. And El Corte Inglés is just at the bottom of this road. There's actually two big El Corte Inglés in Palma. We're going to the one now that's referred to as the one on the Avenidas, and the original one is on Jaime Tres. So we actually passed that as we came in on the bus, like very close to it at least. So, like any other city, it's busy. It's a Friday afternoon, 3 o'clock, and we've just been having some great weather this last few days. Last day of my half-term holiday. Back to work on Monday. Crossing which takes us to El Corte Inglés. El Corte Inglés is a big department store. If you're in the UK, it's a little bit like John Lewis or one of those big sort of stores, Debenhams that used to be. Not sure what exists anymore, but El Corte Inglés does. Lewis's, yeah. Cross. Oh, Anita's got a winning lottery ticket. So she regularly buys tickets from ONCE. ONCE is the charity for the blind. It's one of the wealthiest charities in the world, I believe, because they do this lottery, and they've always done this lottery for as long as I can remember. And Anita buys several tickets, so she's just won the grand sum of €2. I don't think we're going to see very much. We'll probably see another ticket. So as I guess she's getting her ticket, and we'll go off to El Corte Inglés.
Winning ticket there.
We've got another winning ticket. It's a sueldazo. It's one that gives you a salary for 20 years. Whoa, I could do with that. You see, some people still wearing masks on the street. It's not compulsory anymore. But it is compulsory on the bus, so everybody getting off the bus has to wear a mask while they're on the bus, and it's compulsory when we go into the shop. But on the street, it's not obligatory, so you can wear one if you want to. And a lot of people here choose to wear them. So we're going to go into El Corte Inglés now, so I'm going to have to turn the camera off. We We're going in the top entrance, so we need to pick up my watch, which has been in there for repair. So we'll catch up when we come out, hopefully with a repaired watch. Well, we've been into El Corte Inglés. The reason to go was to pick my watch up, which has been in there for repair. So it seems to be working now, and the strap seems to be good. So we're going to make our way up to Plaza de España. I'm going to take my mask off because I'm not in El Corte Inglés anymore. When I see a thermometer, I'll try and let you know what the temperature is, but in the middle of the city it feels really quite warm with the sun on our backs. It was a bit cooler on the other side of the road because there was no sun there. We're in the shade. Now we're in the sun. It starts to feel quite warm again. So this is like this road that comes towards Plaza de España. You can see there's 4 lanes here. One of them's a bus lane, taxi lane, and you've got something similar on the other side. And you have to be really careful to make sure you're in the right lane. So Nita doesn't like driving in here at all, and I don't know, I do, but that's how I like it. I guess just like anywhere, if you drive in the wrong lane, if you're driving in a bus lane, a taxi lane, you're likely to get fined. It's a noisy old city. It's our bank. Nita's just been off to a shoe shop. She's seen some very nice shoes, so I can imagine she'll be back into Palma soon. With her friend Yvonne. We're just coming up now to Plaza de España, so right in front of us in fact. And on the left hand side is the plaza itself, which is quite a collecting area, and sometimes have little markets there, particularly around Christmas time. And then over to our right is the station, and so here we've got a bus station, we've got a railway station, and we also have the Soller train station, all in this one place, which is very close to Plaza de España. And I've been reading that the Soller train, which is a favourite amongst the tourists, is about to start again within the next week or two. I think it's due to start on the 1st of March. So
20 degrees.
Looking out for that one. How many degrees? 20. So it's 20 degrees, so it's a little bit cooler than yesterday, but 20 degrees is very comfortable. Certainly for walking around, it's very comfortable. I'm just reminded that there's some stairs there that go down to the car park. There's an underground car park here as well, which I use sometimes when I'm in Palma. And there's a big park which I've never actually been into, so maybe at some point we're going to have a look in the park down there. This cafe we sometimes come to if we're meeting someone in Palma. buses stop in Plaza España. And just to my right now, there's the escalators that take you down to the bus station, railway station. Now we can go to Inca, go to Monaco on the train. And then this side we've got the is where you will go to Soller. So the Soller train. But that's not open at the moment. But give it another couple of weeks and should start to see trains going from here. So just in front of us we've got the Soller railway station. I always do think actually compared with the one that takes you to Inca, to Manacor, the Soller train is very pretty, but it's quite expensive. Green man says we can go. Track. There's a train down there, but it's not going anywhere at the moment. We're actually on the outskirts of Palma, in the city. So this all over onto my left as we're walking forward. Is where the centre is, and it's where the big shops are. Just going past Sala Augusta, which is another cinema. In fact, I've never been to that cinema. I've spoken in another video about the graffiti, and there's graffiti everywhere. I did see in the newspaper that someone had been caught and fined over €1,000, I think it was, for the graffiti. And then later on in the article it said it cost €2,500 to have the graffiti cleaned up, so I don't know if they're going to pass that cost on to the person that was fined. In my opinion, they should certainly pay for the cleaning up and pay a fine as well. And these have been referred to as the avenidas, and now it says 18 degrees cooler as we've just come around the corner. Still quite pleasant. Archduke Louis Salvador is the name of the road that goes up to the right here. The road we've got a CEX, so they exist in the UK and they also exist here. So when I'm in the UK, I always have a look, see what's in the way of cameras or lenses. I quite often look for lenses for my camera. In fact, I actually bought a 600mm lens for my camera. A whopper. You've got something here too. Cameras. I don't see any lenses for me anyway. No. Anisha has no interest in them. These avenidas go around the city, and so we're skirting the city at the moment, city centre where the shops are. But even down these roads, this one's referred to as 31st of December, there are lots of shops on both sides of interest. In fact, going down here, we used to go to a computer shop down there. That's where I used to buy all my computers. There's a couple of computer shops down that way. Just as we cross this road, and just looking up, I always tell my children, look up and just look at the beautiful architecture. It's a lovely building in front. Just as we cross over, right in front of us, some beautiful stonework. It's my sort of building. I like buildings like that. Come to this particular road. This is another pedestrianised road. It's called Calle Blanquera, and the reason I wanted to point this one out is because on both sides there are cafes and restaurants, and it's a place that we come to sometimes in the evening. It just says, let's have a wander down. So, well, not wander down, and so we will come here. And we'll stop off at one of these bars, cafes, restaurants, and have dinner. It can be a very busy place in the evenings. Not so busy perhaps in the afternoons. So we've got some shops as well. So some shops to keep. And in the evenings they're usually closed, and it's more concentrate on the restaurants. And today we even have some live music. A gentleman here with his Gibson. It's either a Gibson or an Epiphone. I think it's probably an Epiphone. Not a real Les Paul. You see the restaurants here. Busy, people having their lunch. And there's a road that crosses here, but then the Blanquera carries on, and it actually goes up to a place called Escorchador. And Escorchador was the old abattoir, and it stopped being an abattoir a long time ago.
Is that still open for all the tapas?
And it's where we have this place. There's a place there that used to do tapas. I think it's closed down now. It's somewhere we need to visit again. But it's another place where there's a cinema, and a cinema that shows almost exclusively foreign language films. So it's a place we do go to from time to time to watch a film. And we used to always go there for a meal as well. I've just got a feeling that it didn't survive COVID. So that's just right straight ahead and carry on. I'm just going to go down to the left here because I want to have a look and check the times of the cinema. we're going to, which is referred to as the Rivoli. Just going past a sushi restaurant. There's a couple of our grandsons that love sushi, so it's the sort of place we might have to bring them.
Yes.
No sushi in England, it costs you an arm and a leg. There are places here which do very good sushi at a very reasonable price.
Smell the popcorn.
I'm just gone. Yeah, that's the bakery. You can smell popcorn, yeah, they must be making it all ready for us. So we're just going to check the times of the film. It seems they might have changed times since Anita last looked it up on the internet. So that's good. We've managed to get our tickets. How much were the tickets? €6.50, I think. €6.50. I don't really know how that compares with tickets elsewhere. €11 for the two of us. Yeah, €6.50 each. Oh no. €5.50 each. Oops, sorry, €5.50. What does that sound like? Sounds like a bargain to me. €5.50 to go to the cinema, watch a modern, up-to-date film. But it means we've got an hour or so to have a little wander around in Palma and maybe get a coffee. And I fancy going down Calle Olmos. And we'll just go and have a look and see what we can see. So now what we'll need to do is cross over the Avenidas. A few years ago they dug up the Avenidas. All of this was dug up, and it meant traffic obviously couldn't come because it was a big hole, and they put underneath where we're walking now a car park. So there's a huge underground car park in this part of the Avenidas, which is where we normally park. If we're going to the cinema, we'll park in the car park. And the cinema must have a deal with the car park. And as you go into the cinema, you show them your parking ticket, and they give you another one, which gives you free parking for a couple of hours. So we don't actually end up paying for any parking. But today it doesn't really matter because we came in by bus and we'll be going back by bus, so it's not significant. But crossing these roads is, you wait for the green man. That's taking your life in your hands if you try and cross it any other time. There is a move to close off much of Palma to cars, and one of the other things they're trying to do is to ban cars more than 15 years old. You actually see very many really old cars, so I don't know how effective that would be. So we're going to head off into Palma, into the middle of Palma. I'll put the camera back on if we see anything that's interesting. I'm just getting past the office of Asisa, and the reason I put my camera on there is just to say that when we first came to the island, we didn't know what was going on, and Asisa was the company we used for our medical insurance. And Anita became pregnant. Our son was born in a private hospital through Asisa. All went very smoothly. They had a strange system then, I guess it doesn't exist now, but the system was you had to get these little tickets from Asisa every time you needed anything doing. So you'd be constantly calling into the office to pick up these tickets. That's years ago, 30 plus years ago, so it's all different now. But we were happy with them. And once we actually were comfortable living here in Mallorca, we stopped having private health insurance, which some people think we're mad, but we've both used the public system, and we're both really happy with the service that we've got. We have a great GP, and our experiences with the hospitals have been very good. So I'm not really complaining at all. Anita had our third child here with the public health system. In the hospital we came past on the bus, Sondiretta, and yeah, it was all very good. And I've been in Sondiretta and I've had 2 operations there, and I can't complain. Well, one was in Sondiretta and the other was in Son Espacios, which is the new hospital, but all under the national health system here in Spain. We're just coming up, there's a school on our right, and a square which is called Plaza Patines. Plaza Patines, patines are roller skates, or yeah, roller skates, and so it's a skating park. So sometimes you come here and you find people doing all sorts of manoeuvres with their roller skates. Today it looks as though it's full of children, so I won't be filming Plaza Patines for you, but that's what it is. And underneath Plaza Patines is a square, there's a car park, and it's another place that we use for parking when we're coming into Palma. It's convenient for many parts. We're just coming up to one of the restaurants that we've featured a couple of times, and it's a very well, it's a restaurant that people know in Palma. It's called Sella Sapremsa. I must say our last 2 meals there have been a little disappointing.
Yeah, right now I wouldn't want to go there again.
So I think we're going to avoid Sella Sapremsa for a while. It does get very busy at lunch times, and maybe that would be better. We've been during COVID, and well, not been very good at all. So not going to be recommending that one, I'm afraid. Not for a while anyway. I'm sure we will come back one day, but we'll give it another 2 or 3 years break and see if they are improved. So we're just leaving Plaza Patines, and we're heading down to Calle Olmos. I'll just turn the camera off until we get somewhere a little bit more. So we just come down. This is Calle Olmos, which I think is no longer called Calle Olmos because they changed the name to the Mallorquin name, but I've always known it as its Spanish name, Calle Olmos. And the reason we used to come here was to get photocopies done. It's a great area for getting things printed off. So I thought I might pop in here and see if I can get some things printed that I'm experimenting with. Oh, watches. Oh, there's a place I could have my watch repaired. Anita has disappeared. I don't know where. I'm sure she'll catch me up. We just called into one of the print shops, which is what Calle Olmos used to be famous for. There doesn't seem to be as many print shops here as there used to be. But I'd already prepared this file. It's what I think is going to be our card. So when we're stopped in the street, lots of people ask us what we're doing, and I think if we can give them a card and it just shows us where to find us on YouTube. So it's got the YouTube address, and it's also got one of these fancy QR codes, and as long as you've got the app on your phone, you just put that and it takes you straight to the YouTube channel. So Yeah,
See.
it's a start. It seems to work. Well, we've got our cards and we're just waiting to go to the cinema, so we've stopped off for a little light refreshment. Anita's got a coffee. I'm not driving, I'm on the beer.
And I shall have a vino after.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And we'll perhaps see you a little bit later. Bye for now.